Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to the TMPAG weekly Zoom. And today we have two special guests, Rebecca and Marco from the Home River Group. And thank you guys for joining us today. And they have exciting things to tell us. And as you know, I never tell anybody who the special guests are. Oh, there's Mr. iPhone. I see his face. He can introduce himself in a minute. And and then we will get started. So, Marco and Rebecca, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Absolutely. Honor to be here, and of course, Miss Sherry, you're becoming my new best friend, so I'm loving it. But
Yay!
my name is Marco Walker. I am our VP of Sales here at Home River Group. Essentially, who are we? We're
Yeah, how we change the name in here.
a full service property management company, and we'll get into a little bit more about that. But we're excited to partner with all of you. I am also our designated broker in the state of Texas, as well as in the state of North Carolina. So excited to speak with all of you and really talk about how you guys can make some more money. So I will pass it over to Miss Rebecca, who is more local to your beautiful, beautiful state.
Hi there. So I cover
Oh,
Central and up as far as business development for our company. I have been in the property management business since '06, so tons of experience there. But I get out there, I meet with the agents, love to meet with people as far as at your offices. I know a lot of people don't have them, but are a few that are doing them also. So would love to get out to offices or just meet and greets and meet some of you.
you got cut off. Where are you located? Where do you service?
I'm central up to North Florida. Ashley covers South Florida
Ah,
also,
okay.
and she is stuck on an owner call. She's going to be on here soon. She's bringing in new business at the moment, but she's running a little bit behind. But she covers the South Florida region. So anywhere from Sarasota up on the west side, I would cover, and then from Melbourne up.
So, why did I have Home River Group on today? Number one, they have generously agreed to sponsor an event that we're having on May 8th. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was one reason. And then when I found out, though, that they were property management, I know, Peter, who do you have? You manage your own properties and you manage properties for people, don't you? Or
I do manage the short-term rentals, but I do also refer to a property manager here that's local in St. Pete, and she does long-term property management, but then does a lot of referrals to me on the short-term stuff. Yeah.
Perfect.
so, and from what I understand, that might be a good niche too for Marco, Ashley, and Rebecca because you guys don't do Airbnbs, right?
We don't. So that is a great contact for us to have because we do
Yeah,
get calls
love
a
to help
lot.
with that.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah, Peter's been doing Airbnbs for years. He owned, it's an old joke, but he sold my house. I stayed at one of his Airbnbs twice and then he sold it. And I said, "Why are you selling my house?" But no, and I wasn't contributing to paying the mortgage. But
That's
um
why we sold it. You needed to stay there more.
I love that place. But so Peter also, he and his wife design and outfit the homes as well. So that might be something great for you guys. Yeah. And again, just a little plug for Peter too. What I loved is I've stayed at, I think now 23 Airbnbs. Yes, I know I have an addiction, but Peter was the only one that had every single thing labeled. So I wasn't, it's just a weird thing from a consumer point of view when you're pulling out all the drawers and you're like, okay, where's the silverware? Where's this? Where's that? He had
Yep.
everything labeled and he told me which washcloth to use for my makeup. That was another thing. So, if you guys could, they shared their information. Peter, you shared as well. But Marco, I understand you want to share your screen with us too. So um,
Absolutely. I am
go
going
ahead.
to
Did I
share.
give you, I gave you, yeah, I gave you permission.
Yes, yes, yes. Alrighty. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Home River Group, homes you love, service you trust, right? That is our slogan, who we are, and we're excited to partner with all of you. The great thing about Home River Group, so we've been in business for a little over 10 years, and we have a very wide footprint, as you guys can see here on the screen. So we manage right now over 20,000 units across our 60 markets. So with Florida, you have a ton of absentee owners, I'm sure, that we manage properties for, or you guys manage properties for, or do sell listings and things of that nature. Those owners may have properties in other territories, other states, etc. We have the ability to almost be their one-stop shop and be able to manage their properties no matter where they want to purchase, which is a great, great advantage for your owners that you're currently working with across the board. So our services, so as a property management company, of course, we do, acquisitions, renovations, leasing, management, and maintenance. So we manage properties for roughly about 10,000 owners across our different territories. So we are EXP's preferred partner and part of EXP Solutions. We are not in the business of residential sales. I want to say that again. We are not in the business of selling houses. So how our process works is when you guys do a referral to us as far as Home River, and that person stays that resident stays in the property, whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be, when they're ready to sell, as far as the owner, that listing goes back to that referring agent. So also, if one of our owners raised their hand and maybe they're not part of EXP as far as where they purchased their original property via EXP, the great thing about our partnership is we work with some of your leaders, your more corporate leaders, to be able to pass those listings and distribute them to EXP agents, etc. So, that is the relationship and the partnership ultimately that we have. We are full service. We handle from, when the resident is starting the relationship, looking for a home, getting pricing, etc., all the way through the move-in process of that resident. So there's really nothing for the owner to absolutely do or for you as the agent to do. We are a full service company. How do you submit referrals, and what is the referral that we have with you guys? So Peter, you said that you have a local company that you currently work with, that you send, more of your long-term rentals to. We have a very, very aggressive, I would say, referral program for EXP. And how that works ultimately is you guys go on our website, you have your own page on our website, which is our website with /EXP. And when you go there, you're filling out this particular form field. This form field is getting your name, your contact information, as well as your client's name and contact information. And then that's ported over to Rebecca or Ashley based on their territory. We take over the process from there. We do the communication, we go over comps, we do completely everything in the end and try to gain their business as a client. So, with that being said, once the resident is placed in the home and we collect first month's rent, we pay that referring agent $750 per client that they bring on to us. So it's a very aggressive referral program, and it gives you guys the opportunity to really earn some ancillary income by just really, mentioning Home River to your clients, but also there's really no work, if you will, for you guys to do. You can scale your real estate sales business while still making money on the property management side with your current investors that you're already working with. And we have a great relationship already in Florida with some high power agents that's doing a great job for us. So great way to earn some money there. And then we post a lot of content on our social media. So on homerivergroup.com, our Instagram, Facebook, X, and then on LinkedIn. I do encourage all of you guys to make sure that you're following us just to keep it top of mind. Of course, Rebecca and myself will reach out via Ms. Sherry and ensure you guys can get in contact with us. But ultimately, we want to be your partner. We want to help you guys make more money. We want to help you guys fulfill your fiduciary responsibilities to your clients by, of course, giving them a property management company that will take care of them, that is licensed in every single state that we operate in, and is compliant with local state statutes and laws, et cetera. So I want to kind of pause there and see if you guys have any questions. And while you're asking questions, on my screen, I'm going to show you on our website. It should have switched to our website. You type in EXP, and this is you guys' referral page. What questions do you have?
Yeah, I have a question. So you're also okay, so on Peters Coast, for example, um, well, if you have in South Florida, I think Chris, I can't see you. I don't know if Vero also has it, but from Palm Beach County, Miami-Dade, and Broward County, we get 1 month's rent to list something for rent. And then and I know we're not supposed to say split it anymore, but still in these counties, when an agent calls me and says, is the landlord cooperating with tenant brokers? I say yes, and it's a half a month's rent. So would I be able to find the customer myself, because that's more money than the 750? But then let's say you had the property for property management, like I get, the owner was wanting you to manage it, but I got the tenant. What does that look like?
Great question. Great question. So the way our process works, definitely if we are managing that property, or if it's a vacant property, we would want to handle the leasing part of that process as well. Now, let's say that you guys want to handle the leasing yourselves in this example, then in that situation, you would lease the property. Our relationship with that owner wouldn't be able to start in that situation until the property is physically leased, where there is a resident that is secured, and then we can still handle the property management for that particular property. So you lease it, excuse me, it comes over to us now as technically an occupied property, and then we would handle the property management. So that would be the initial relationship there.
Okay, and then there's no 750 referral fee because you're not, right?
No, come on, Sherry. Of course there is. So
For
whether
real?
we're leasing the property for you guys and handling
Get
it from end
out.
to end,
Okay, now I'm sold.
yeah. If you guys bring on, hey, we don't care. If you bring on occupied properties, as long as they are under a 12-month lease or higher, then we can accept that particular property, and you would still get your $750 referral bonus.
Oh my God, I could triple dip legally.
Yes.
I could list,
Legally.
I
Yes.
could list, get the tenant, hand it over to you guys, because we're not, and I needed to point this out. I wasn't clear when we started. We're not, we are my group, the Missing Piece Alliance group, we are broker agnostic. So we've got other brokerages. Today I'm looking at it. I think it's just EXP. Do you offer the same thing to other brokerages as well? Could I tell the rest of the team?
Yes, you can. So I want to highlight, do you guys see what's highlighted right here?
Yep.
Can someone read that for me?
Don't look at me. I could see it. Someone read it.
I know it, so I'll read it. So it's received 750 per door.
700. So I didn't say that at first. I did that on purpose. So if you guys are bringing in 10 doors, one client, 10 doors, like I just told you guys, we're handling the communication, the onboarding, the convincing of the owner. We're doing all of the sales part of it. You're just sitting back and waiting for us to do our job. Obviously, it helps if you are, positioning us with your client. But ultimately, if we bring in one client that has 10 doors, you will receive, once we place all residents in the home, and it sounds like you'll be bringing over occupied property anyway, that's $7,500 that referring agent would make
Yeah,
from our company.
that'd be so
So
cool.
it makes that triple dip that Sherry talked about very, very attractive.
Yeah, so and that was my point. At some brokerages, you're not allowed to property manage. And I know at mine, we're not allowed to. And there's good reason for it. And I'm all for that. I know a lot of agents, start to spread themselves thin, think they want to make money doing it on the side, extra income. We're
Absolutely.
not, the fact that I always say if there's a full business that you could pay for, that means you're not the expert. So you got like, and that's another thing to think about too, guys. If let's say you have I don't know, somebody that maybe a landlord you wanted to refer out, maybe you didn't want to deal with it. Maybe, and we always refer to one another. So someone will say to me, who do you have in Jacksonville? And I say, Michelle. And I said, Michelle will rent it out for you. But if there was a case for some reason that I'm like, you know what, I just can't deal with this rental listing, give it to you guys. And then I would still make something, for the
You're,
referral.
exactly. You're still going to make money. And to answer your question, I apologize that I didn't answer fully. As far as the difference between EXP and just Marco's brokerage, so with EXP, we pay $750 per unit, up to 50 units per client. After 50, for that one client, it's cut in half as far as the referral bonus. But that's per client. So you would essentially need one client to bring 100 doors in, or 51 doors in for that to look that way. With other brokerages, it's capped at 10. So once they bring in, if that one client has 12 doors, we're only going to pay them for 10. So that's the difference between our partnership with EXP versus other brokerages. So we offer the same program, but at EXP, you guys may have a client that has a portfolio that they want to bring on, and we're going to ensure that we pay you guys pretty much for the entire portfolio, whereas other brokerages, it's capped at 10.
Got it. Does anybody else
I have
if you want to,
I
go
have
ahead,
a
Peter.
question. Interesting. I actually used you guys for my nephew. I sold him a house in Pensacola, and then he was leaving that area to rent it. And so we did connect. It didn't work out though. And I think part of the reason it didn't work out was because um, maybe the marketing and the pricing was not localized. So he ended up using someone else and got it rented. And this in particular on this one, it was in a military, there's a lot of military bases there in Pensacola, and there was
Yep.
no marketing done in that direction. So I guess my question would be, how can we assure that you're going to really localize the rental, the listing, that kind of thing? Because I know that you guys are large and that you've got a lot of probably connections nationally, but in that local spot, sometimes you really have to be focused.
Absolutely. Great question. And if you guys see me keep coughing, caught a little bug there. But that's a great question. And as far as being and having a local feel, so in most of our areas, we do have a local property manager or a local property manager that is nearby, right? So we do market our homes, of course, on all of the big ILSs, so your Zillows, your Homes.com, et cetera. So we market in that way as well. And we do have in-house leasing agents who are calling our leads, handling our applications, and going through the entire process. Of course, no company is perfect, no agent is perfect. So you're going to have, and I want to make sure I'm transparent with everyone on this call, right? You're going to have where we may have, where we drop the ball, just to be transparent. The great thing about our company is we learn from our mistakes, and we always try to get better. We own our mistakes with clear communication and responsive communication. So one thing that your clients would get from Ashley and Rebecca is consistent responses and fast responses to make sure that we're answering your questions to the best of our ability. And if it's something that we can't do or we can't service that particular area because of our bandwidth or because of our scale within that area, then that's something we would absolutely be transparent with the client in regards to that. I'm someone who and I know on the third party side, working with your more um, different levels of owners, right? Whether it's a seasoned investor or whether it's a new owner, owners, they have that hold, right? I own investment properties. We're very vested because it's our personal money. But I look at things slightly different. I came from more of the institutional property management side. So I work with companies like First Key Homes, American Homes for Rent, Progress, et cetera, Invitation. So I came from more of a scale and working at scale and being able to manage properties at scale and being able to serve self-service, et cetera. So not saying that your client won't get the local feel, but we want to be able to maximize their returns and make them more money. That is our goal, is to increase revenues and increase profits and ensure that your owner is ultimately saving time so that they can truly scale their portfolio, just like one of those institutional investors. We want to grow their portfolios and ultimately create generational wealth for our owners. And it starts with that relationship that you talked about, Peter.
Okay.
Peter, I know about the situation. I remember the situation because it was, obviously we were trying to build that relationship with you and it didn't go as well as we had hoped. But one of the issues, we cannot market on the military bases. We don't have that networking. However, as you know, like the Tampa area, McDill exists, but it is not a sole focus. I live in the Tampa area. I will say our corporate office is in Tampa, so we're huge in this area. We have tons of vendors. That particular one was obviously Pensacola. And if there was an area that we don't cover as thoroughly, it's going to be the Pensacola area. It's one of our newer markets that we acquired. So with that, any of the other areas, we have an office in Orlando, Ocala, Tampa, like I said, is where our corporate location is. We can cover you thoroughly. We have vendors for everything, rent comps. We can run them ourselves in a lot of the situations because we know them well.
And I would actually like to interject here. We actually do have great coverage in Pensacola. So we cover all the way from Pensacola to Destin. So it's a huge market for us. I get a lot of referrals from the area. And one of my biggest referring agents is a local Pensacola EXP agent.
Ah, cool. No, I don't know if you That's awesome. Good. Well, thank you for that. Just tell us a little bit. So if I'm talking to a landlord and I say, you've got to call this management company, what can we expect? Or do the tenants, like when there's issues, the choice, my income properties is always the darn plumbing. Whether it's and then one of my tenants texted the property manager and he's like, so I just washed my comforter and for some reason the washing machine doesn't work anymore. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So what do you do? And the toilet's always clogged. So what do you do when that happens? And what are the hours if they call you in the middle of the night?
Absolutely. So we are 24/7, especially with our maintenance coverage around emergency. That doesn't mean you're going to get your property evaluated or the problem resolved in that time period. But we are able to answer the phones when someone is calling us. We have very, very high answer rates in our resident services departments. So, we will be able to really manage the resident and ensure that the resident does know who to contact, when to contact, and ensure that they're getting to the right departments.
Yeah, that's all that a tenant needs. They just want to be heard. So
Absolutely.
yeah, if and I don't know why tenants feel they can call at 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, and knock on wood, the house is now burning down, the toilet's clogged, so I don't get that. But what so what does the communication look like? How does the owner know what's going on? Is there a platform that messages are going back and forth through? So how does the landlord know?
So ultimately, we really, really, really believe in saving the owner time. I think if we talk to any millionaire, any billionaire, any thousandaire, what they're going to say as they scale their business, you have to be very, very good at delegation and trusting in the people that you hire to do a job. So we do have our consistent monthly reviews with our owners. However, is the owner going to know about every single issue that goes on in their home immediately when it happens? No. If it's an egregious problem, we'll reach out to the owner. But ultimately, we try to really manage that experience with the resident and make sure we're putting out fires and not going to the owner. And that's ultimately what the owner is paying us for, is that peace of mind to know that their property is safe, will be taken care of, and the resident will, turn their house into actually a home based on the experience that they do have with Home River. So, you know, to answer your question, we're not going to, every communication with the resident is not going to be communicated with the owner, but we try to be upfront with our clients about that, so that they can, ultimately work on other things, spend time with their family, work on their 9 to 5, and just know that their property is taken care of and the resident is paying on time.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is a two-part question. The obvious one, what is your charge for the owner? And then a second part of that question is, so then like, let's say you had to send a plumber out. And so then how does the billing work? Like, how will I know that you're like, okay, Sherry, it was $1,000 for the plumber, and, blah, blah, blah. So how much do you charge? And then how do you charge for the repairs and stuff?
Great question. So all of our owners that come on, we do require a $500 reserve. So anytime we're spending money, the owner will be notified, but the $500 reserve ultimately is for us to take care of some of those smaller issues that come up, right? And you guys understand that process. Now, if there's anything above that amount, the owner is still paying for those repairs, maintenance, things of that nature at certain prices, right? And we have to reach out to them to get their approval and their authorization. So we're still
Good.
in communication with the owner on those particular things. As far as, what was your second question?
So that was it. So you then have your own vendors. So in each
Exactly.
area. Okay. So then you would say to me, hey, Sherry, I know you have a $500 reserve. The repair is $1,000. Do you authorize this? And I say, well, yes, obviously you have to fix the toilet. And then is that the point where I send you the 1,000 and then you do it?
Correct. So our owners have a portal, right, that they'll be able to fund their account when we do need additional funds, et cetera. And then they go over those things with the property manager. And then as far as our vendor network, and I'm sure as licensed agents in your territories, you guys work with reputable vendors as well. You guys have your tree of people you work with. Same with us, but we're always open to additional vendors. So feel free to have them reach out. But ultimately, we look for and we work with only licensed, bonded, and insured vendors to ensure we're going to get the best quality work, but also the best quality experience for our owners.
Okay. If I had a contractor, let's say, or a plumber, how would I, local to the area, how would I get them to get in touch with you and maybe be part of your platform as well?
Absolutely. So same thing on our website. If you go onto our website and the About Us page, it
Mhm.
has a vendors tab, and I guess I could share my screen if you need me to,
No,
but
that's okay. I got to see the
it has
people.
a vendors tab. And
Yep.
that vendors tab allows them to join our network.
Oh,
And
that's
then they
great.
just go on and they fill out the form, and then our vendor management team will reach out, contact them, get the relevant documents, kind of screen them, if you will, and go through that onboarding process if they qualify with our terms.
Got it. That's amazing. Does anybody have any other questions now that mine are answered?
Let's make some money. Come on.
I had
Michelle,
a
go ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
Do we need to register in the website as agents to do referrals or no?
Oh, yeah.
So not necessarily excuse me, not necessarily register, but I do encourage you guys. I think Rebecca and Ashley put their information in the chat. Please save their phone numbers, their contact information to your phones. I think it'd be great for you guys to reach out to them both if directly and set up some time just to have more of a one-on-one call to really strategize. Ultimately, the way I look at this, if I'm putting on my agent hat, you know, the way that I in sales, I always forecast. You know, I look at what do I have coming up as far as leads, what's in our pipeline, sales that are closing or expected closings, et cetera. And I'm looking at how much money can I make in a month, in a quarter, and in a year. So now you guys have an ancillary way to really. So I think what is the saying? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So all that means is you need partners and you need a team. So I would be reaching out to Rebecca and Ashley to figure out and strategize on how can I maximize my earning potential via them. Let them work for you versus you guys doing all of the work and being too controlled. Allow them to work for you, and then you can truly increase your income.
Hell yeah.
It's so funny. You're gonna really make my voice go away, Sherry.
Sorry. Marta, first of all, Michelle, did that answer your question?
Yes. And who would be my rep in Jacksonville? I see that Ashley, I think, said she's on the other side of Florida. So is there a rep for Jacksonville?
I cover the
Rebecca.
Jacksonville area.
You
Have questions, you can definitely call. I will put my phone number down there for you. But definitely call me and we can go over. I can do pricing for you. If you're out showing properties to someone, want to know what something will rent for, I'll be happy to get that for you. But we have also Kaylin is the property manager up there that would cover the actual property management for the property. But as far as getting them in the door and all the floor work done beforehand, keep me in mind.
okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Marjalisa and then Miriam.
Okay, hi. Sherry asked, how much did you charge? You didn't answer that part.
Oh, I forgot.
That was the second question. Great.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. We're about the money. So standard property management fees across the board is usually 10%, right? Property management fee. Now, the great thing about some of the things we have going on, we are running a 2-year kind of deal, right? So if they sign a 2-year agreement, the first year is completely free, so it's zero. The second year is 10%.
Cut
So
it out.
it's
That's
so
impossible.
nothing's impossible, Sherry. We walked on the moon, right? Come on.
So you don't charge anything for the first year.
So for the first year, the thought process, they are signing a 2-year contract. So I do want to make that, make that clear. But it's ultimately so that that owner can build up their reserve, if you will, right? And be able to understand how we work and how we operate. And then that second year, we're charging 10%. So it's a wonderful program. Nobody in the property management space is offering that type of program.
Should have led with that. That's all realtors care about. Holy cow. That and the
Exactly.
750.
And then if the owner is not comfortable with a 2-year contract, we do have a 1 year. That 1 year is 6% management fee. So, still a great opportunity. And then if you have an owner that is, I don't want to be under a contract, right? We probably all have done that with our cell phones, but then they'll waive that they have had this brand new iPhone. If you do a 2-year contract, you get this new iPhone, and then we all get the iPhone.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we do have a month to month. Our month to month is 10% management fee. So if they don't want to be in a contract, they can do a month to month, and it's 10%.
Amazing. Miriam.
Well, my question was essentially that you just answered it was like how much. But you know what? I'd like to go over really quick because I have a rental listing in Miami Beach on Collins Avenue. Are the ladies who are in charge of South Florida on this call? Did they make it or no?
Yep, I'm
Yes.
here.
So Ashley is here. I will let
Okay.
Ashley speak to that because my voice is going out. So I'll let Ashley speak to your question about Miami.
Okay, cool. Hi, Ashley. So just to get an idea of what like Sherry said, for example, to triple dip, right? So I have this listing. The owner is presently like it's got a great view. She's presently in the process of making it nicer, right? She's doing some repairs and paint, etc. Um, so that's my listing. So if I just referred her, like how would I do the triple dip? Like how would that work? With regard to what Sherry said, for
So
example.
I can actually answer that. So
Okay.
you could do 2 to 3. So you would rent it out with your finding your own tenant.
Okay.
So you get the list side, and then the tenant side.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the sellers, I keep saying seller, if the landlord signs up with this
Right.
company,
Then I
then
get the 750 from them. Right.
so that's 3. If you just get the listing side and someone else brings a tenant, then you double
Then
dip.
I'm getting to copy that. Okay. And if I find that this rental listing, because it is slow right now, to be fair. I mean, she wanted to pull it for a little bit. She has it sort of on temporary hold until she does the repairs, but the long term, she wants to rent it out for a year. The long term rentals, I wasn't seeing a lot of action. So I don't know, maybe you guys at some point, maybe I'll just do the handoff. You would help finding her you would help finding her a tenant, correct? Great.
Absolutely. So whether you want to take advantage of that initial leasing or you want us to, you're going to earn your $750 referral fee regardless. And as Marco mentioned, when we do list the property, it's syndicated onto 12 of the major rental websites. So it's going to be on realtor.com, Zillow, homes.com, all of the big ones where prospective tenants are looking.
Right. Does that differentiate? Is that different than, because usually when you put it on the MLS, it's supposed to do all that. Is that
So it does, it syndicates when it's on the MLS. I think the difference, so obviously you as an agent do, I'm sure, an amazing job, right? In finding your listings and working for your client. But you're also, handling other clients as well. The great thing about working with us is we have an actual leasing team and organization that is behind each and every listing. So our agents are not allowed to sell properties as well, right? So
right?
their
So they're
main
just
job, yeah,
focused on
so
that.
their main job is to lease. Just like Rebecca and Ashley's main job is to offer property management services. So they're not splitting their time, if you will. So the great thing about our agents is they're calling every single lead, not just emailing, not just text messaging. They're physically calling. They're reaching out constantly to get our homes leased in a certain time frame. We try to, continuously we monitor our days on market, and we're measured by our days on market. So right now we are leasing properties under 30 days, which this market has been, a tougher market, as you guys know, for leasing as well as for residential sales. So for us to have those types of numbers is staggering. Also, when a resident is in our homes, industry standard is usually about 70% renewal, retention, if you will. We're renewing people, our percentages is upwards of 76% renewal. So we are keeping residents in our home, which ultimately means more money for your more consistent cash flow for your owners. So utilize us. You may not, if you're not able to get the first month's rent on your leasing, completely understand you want the higher dollars, you want to make money. But I'm sure you would rather spend your time on closing some of those more high dollar residential sales that may take a little bit more effort. Those clients want to go look at this house, go look at that house, and it's a higher price point that you're going to bring in. So allow Rebecca and Ashley to really work for you because you can then increase volume. Sometimes you can lower your price. So if you're looking at it from a company perspective, they may lower their prices under what a competitor is doing, but they're going to bring in more volume. So if you have volume of investors, ultimately you may not make first month's rent on every single one, right? Because you're spending your time on something else. If you allow us to work for you, now you're bringing in more volume, which in turn you're going to make more money, right? Because we're working for you. So it's all about strategy. And that's why I said if you touch base with Rebecca and Ashley, they can strategize with you on what is truly your income goals. And we can look at your portfolio or your contact list of investors and let's see who we can target so that you can make extra money.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Thank you, Ashley. I just copied your information and I have that handy.
So
Fantastic.
based off of that question, if it was full service, soup to nuts, what do you charge? So do you charge the landlord anything if you get the tenant
Yes. So we charge our leasing fee is 60%.
of the first month's rent?
Correct.
Okay, so that's cheaper than 100%. And then that I charge. And then does if you find the tenant, does the tenant have to pay you anything?
No, ma'am.
Good. Okay, good.
Now
Because
we only show our properties, keep that in mind. So, but
you
if it's
what?
for I said we only show our properties. So, but we don't charge them for as far as moving in, as far as the tenants go. Because
Okay.
there's some agents that, will think that we do full service property management, send us over tenants and think they're going to get paid for that. We only pay on the landlord side and we only show our own specific properties.
Yeah, oh no, I wasn't that greedy. I didn't want to quadruple dip, but I was just no,
Are
no,
you
no.
quadruple dipping?
No, no, usually I would be, but I wasn't. I just wanted to make
I mean,
sure that the tenant wasn't getting charged because then they
Yeah.
might not. Right.
you
Oh,
can
that's fantastic.
quadruple. You can sell them the property, so you make money there too. So you can quadruple this.
Yay. So I think all of us, at the very least, should sign up with them to at least get referrals in our areas. We're all over the state of Florida, as you can see. And I do have an Arizona contingency of people as well. I think it would be very smart for all of us to do that, at least just to sign on and then think, because that's what I was doing. I'm like, well, who do I have? Because here's the other thing. This is kind of neat. So I don't charge if a tenant goes for the second year. I don't do a renewal. I just don't. And there are realtors that do, and that might be a smarter business model than I do. I don't know if you know, in Florida, it's if I find the tenant, that's it for me. Just 1 month's rent, it's fine. And if they renew next year, I don't charge again. There are some realtors who do that, and I wish I was them, but I just don't. But that would be kind of cool if like I found it, handed it over to you. Well, how does that work? Because in Florida, we can only sign a 1-year lease, the
So we
tenant.
do
So
we have a renewal fee. Our renewal fee is only, what's our renewal fee, Rebecca? I think
It's
25%.
25%.
Yeah, so 25%, but obviously we're managing the property. So
no, you
that's
should.
the whole nine. But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's,
So
I
25.
know a lot of you guys are probably like calling BS a little bit. Like, this is too good to be true. Where's the catch? So like, I get it. When I started with the company, I'm like, BS, what's the catch as well? But there's
Right.
really no catch. At the end of the day, it's a partnership. All we're looking to do is truly partner. Real estate is hard, and we're only, sometimes you're only one person or you're only a team, and it takes a powerhouse to really scale, and that's what we're investing is you guys are our powerhouse to go find the people, right? You're gatekeepers. We're the powerhouse to help them make more money and grow. So let's just work
Fantastic.
together. I think it'll be a great relationship.
I love it. I'm excited on so many levels, and I have to tell you, usually when I have sponsors, I'm always like, oh, thank God. But I have to be, you're honest, but you guys were fantastic. I mean, it's a win-win for everyone. I mean, again, we're not right. And money aside, and all joking aside, we're not property managers, we're not allowed to be. So we need to have a team that can really help us and make us look good in front of our customers. And that's what it seems to be what you guys are doing. So I just want to say thank you. This was absolutely amazing. And anything, and Mark, Rebecca and Ashley, we'll talk again prior to the event. Anything I can do to make it better for you guys is I'll do whatever, which is what I'm telling everyone. Don't worry. I'm just grateful to have you a part of it. So we'll go over all that.
Absolutely. I know you said you're very tied into the state of Florida and different events outside of you guys' lunch and learns and stuff like that. Rebecca and Ashley is very involved in community things. And if there's any way that we can assist with just different things you have going on in the community, it doesn't have to be where we're making a sales pitch. Everything is not about a sales pitch with us. It's about relationships and how can we be of help in general. So yeah, feel free to build that relationship with everyone here, but I just want you guys to know what we're about. A lot of the things we do are not related to, hey, we want to push Home River Group on anyone. It's really how can we educate and be a support. So Rebecca and Ashley will be in town, I believe. Either if not both of them, one of them will be there for sure for your event, Miss Sherry. And we appreciate you guys allowing us on this call, but allowing us in your event as well. I've been to some EXP events and they're awesome. So we're excited. I'll be at the one in Dallas is the same day, so I won't be at El Rito Sherry. I won't be able to make it. But
And an interesting fact you don't know about Marco is he's having a baby at that time. So his wife would keep him if he were here. So at least he could be there just in case there's an early emergency. So, right? So
exactly.
good. We want you married and happy and all of that. We don't want any turmoil. So so thank you for that. But no, Rebecca and Ashley will utilize you. We can have you guess other things. And I just, I want to say thanks, guys. We'll let you guys go. The rest of you stay on for just another minute, unless anyone has any other questions for the team.
Thank you.
So do we refer people? Do we call them? Like how, which way, which
I'll
one
get
comes
with you,
first?
Sheila, after because there's a place you can go on their website. You conked out for just a second, and I'll show you where to go.
I got a call. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
thank
Thanks,
you,
Bye.
everybody.
guys and ladies. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. You guys are the best.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording. It's just us in